We have a very special guest, my favorite boxer, Mr. David Benavidez. Give it up. Come on now.
Canelo is ducking both of you guys.
I don't consider it ducking because he's so short, so he doesn't have to duck. You versus Betr would just be like a...
It'll be an all-out war.
It would be.
I went into the bathroom. I looked at myself in the mirror. I was fat as bro. I was like,
Then why don't you two fight? What happens if you two fight?
If you guys think you know sports, you can turn your knowledge into real cash on Betr Picks. Check out the map right here. If you see your state, that means you can play Betr Picks right now for a chance to win real money. I'm talking NBA, MLB, NFL, NHL, golf, college ball. We're adding new sports constantly. All you got to do to start winning on Betr Picks is download Betr. Pick more or less on your favorite player's stats and lock in your lineup. Then sit back, enjoy the game, and have a chance to win real money. Over 1 million of you have already downloaded Betr Picks, and thousands of people are winning every day. Join the most followed brand in daily fantasy and win real money watching sports. And for a limited time, new users are getting their first entry matched. Win or lose, up to $250. Let's go. Well. Ladies and gentlemen, and other things that you identify
Furries,
as.
all that shit.
Welcome back to the podcast, BS with Jake Paul. Today's going to be a bullshit episode per usual, but we have a very special guest. My favorite boxer, I would say arguably number 1 to 3 pound for pound in the world, Mr. David Benavidez. Give it up. Come on now.
yeah, thank you guys for having me on here. It's an honor.
Let's go. My guy, my shit's falling off.
That shit's fake.
It's falling off like multiple times. I'm just quick in here.
I'm so sorry if like at any point this shit just becomes complete.
Yeah, if you want to
shit.
leave,
You're good.
If you ever want to leave the podcast, you can. We lost our co-host, Brandon. He's kind of like the glue of the show.
He's like the smart one.
Yeah, because him and I have special needs, and so basically last night Brandon dove into the pool
And cracked his skull.
on the bottom of the pool.
Damn, that's crazy.
And he didn't say nothing. And I walked into the bathroom today, and there's just a patch of curly hair on the bathroom
He
sink.
lost his hair on the bottom of the fucking pool.
So the glue is missing.
Instead, we have Derek.
Thank you. Yeah. Yep.
He's
Let's
coming,
okay. You
he's
know what?
coming with the
I'll
hot
do the
questions.
actual podcasting.
Yes,
let's
please,
address
bro.
the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Canelo is ducking both of you guys.
Yes.
And thoughts on that?
Well, so I don't consider it ducking because he's so short, so he doesn't have to duck. He's just tiny. He's just like a tiny little guy. But he's avoiding the monster. Can you talk about that? Like, what that whole years and years and years of him evading you?
Yeah, it's been really frustrating, to be honest with you. It's like the way I could describe it to people, like you're about to get this promotion at your job, and you know you're the best for the job, and you could take over. And I've been there for the past 3 years, and honestly, this fight, it makes the sense, and pay-per-view, as for the people, what they want to see as well. So, it's good for the sport, but, I can't say Canelo's 100% confident in himself because he would have took the fight already. You know what I mean? I'm 100% confident in myself. So, that's why this fight's not happening, because he knows I'm going to beat his ass when I get in there.
Yeah, this is where a lot of people think I hate the UFC because of the beef with Dana White, but this is where I respect it is the champions and the best people have to fight each other. They're forced to fight each other, and I think that's the problem with boxing, and now he's fighting, first of all, some random ass
Nigga fighting plumbers and
random ass guy, and then Crawford. Obviously, Crawford's amazing, but
He's coming up from 2 weight classes.
30-pound,
Yeah.
20-pound difference. Who do you think wins that fight, though?
To be honest with you, it's like I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. I think Crawford is a tremendous fighter. He has a great IQ in boxing, but I think just the weight difference is just too massive. And not to knock Crawford off, but he didn't really look as strong at 154. So he's still gonna go up 2 weight classes, 160 and 168. So, I mean, I think that just tells everything that needs to be said on its own. But like I said, man, this shit's just crazy because at the end of the day, Canelo's taking this opportunity away from the people. You know, at the end of the day, that's really who matters, the people. You know, you're taking them away a fight that could possibly be one of the greatest fights in Mexican boxing history. So it's just like, I feel like inevitably, this fight is inevitable. It's gonna happen one day. I just gotta keep winning, and especially if I go up there and win all the belts in 175, I think after that, that's definitely what enticed Canelo to fight. So I think it's possible, but you know, right now we're just, you know, we're missing out on a lot of years, and we got to give this fight to the people now.
Yeah, he's like throwing away the Mexican fans to go fight in Saudi for the paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happened. I can explain like the situation with me. Basically, everything was ready to go, 1 yard line, signed LOI, and confidentiality agreement. But basically, Turkey hates me, absolutely hates me. We heard through the back channels for multiple weeks because we've been negotiating since the Monday after the Tyson fight. So we were negotiating for 2 months straight.
That's a lot of time.
And the whole entire time, Turkey was doing everything in his power to strip the fight, try to not make it happen, calling Canelo, calling Eddie Reynoso, basically saying, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? To the point where he had to threaten Canelo to pull his 3-fight deal. You're not fighting Crawford. I'm not paying you any of this money. And he's basically paying him over $100 million for this random-ass fight in May. And Canelo at some point is like, okay, you bought me. Like, I'm not going to fight this kid, Jake. What time is it?
I think it's game time.
It's game time. You know it's always gametime.co. Stop playing. You know gametime.co is our favorite ticketing service. I love it because they have the best prices, price match guarantee up to 110%.
You can see the seats before you purchase them.
Yeah,
so
you don't want to be sitting behind a pole. I've had that happen to me. You know how much we love Game Time.
Absolutely.
Go to gametime.co to get the best tickets for anything, concerts, sports games, everything.
I got a secret, though.
What's your secret?
You actually get $20 off on your first-time user if you use code JAKE.
Stop playing. You can browse through the Game Time app, and there's so many high-profile events.
And if you're anything like me, I'm actually getting fired from this podcast because I want to go to a game, and it is crossing with times. So there's job loss prevention. So I actually get the money for the ticket back.
If you get fired for going to a game, last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, easy to find, buying tickets for every kind of event in your area, lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, last-minute deals, save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Game Time has the lowest price guarantee. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code JAKE, J-A-K-E, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code JAKE for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
T's and C's apply, baby. What time is it?
Game Time.
Let's go, baby.
I think also, too, they just see it like as you guys are the biggest competition there, too. So if they can't work with you, you know what I mean? They're trying to do everything to close you out. But like you said, your numbers speak for itself. You know, you're one of the biggest boxing events here in the whole U.S. And if they can't have you, you know, then they go to the biggest rival against you. And they stole the fight from under you.
Yo, exactly. And is losing money. He's spending over $1.5 to $2 billion a year in the sport to bring these fights to Saudi that don't do the same pay-per-view numbers, obviously, because just no one cares.
That shit's at 3 a.m. and no one's flying 17 hours to watch niggas.
Yeah, so they don't have fans. They have no gate revenue. So he's literally like flushing money down the drain to make these fights happen, and basically hates me because I'm the one doing the bigger numbers, etc. So he's paying Canelo over $100 million just not to fight me.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it's like fucked up in the sport. And we know boxing is a dirty sport, so this is where these things happen. It's part of the game, you know.
It's weird as fuck that you wouldn't be top pick for Saudi to like want Canelo to fight.
So right now I have my contract with Al Heyman. So that's why, you know, I told, you know, obviously if you could if you go to another promotion company while you're with another promotion company, you could get, you know, sued and stuff like that. But, you know, there has been talks with us. You know, I'm actually going out there February 22nd to see the winner of, just to be at the fight.
Bivol.
Yeah, Bivol and Betr Biev, you know, because they ranked me as #1 to fight against those guys. So we're actually going there. But that's been like the beginning talks that we've had with them for that.
And that's where I do like what they're doing, where they're paying enough money and flushing it down the drain to get people to fight each other. But that's the problem in the sport, is like these people don't want to fight each other unless it's like, oh, if I lose, at least I made 40 million.
That's where I think, like, I don't think it should be like that, especially with me. Obviously, you know, you make the money you make because you had already built your brand. Us, the way we build our brand is we got to fucking go to war toe-to-toe with these guys. So that's why, you know, when I took the fight with David Morrell, it wasn't for much money. You know, I mean, it was for me. It was much money.
But you guys did great numbers.
Yeah,
Great
it was
numbers.
good, but it was the thing about it that was going is that, you know, it was a 50-50 fight. You know, we went there, we went to fucking war, and that's
no,
what
people don't realize how good David Morrell is.
he's really good. So
Yeah.
that's, in my opinion, that's what allows me to build my brand. You know what I mean? So sometimes I don't, you know, now the conversation has came up with these big numbers, but I wasn't really thinking about big numbers back then. I was just doing it for the love of the sport, and obviously, the harder fights you win, the bigger the paycheck gets. So, but now I do agree. Now, fucking people, they're like, oh, if there's not 30 million involved, I'm not gonna take a fight. Well, I think that's kind of whack. You know, boxers, they should just go for the glory instead of for the money, and that's why a lot of fights don't get made, because a lot of these fights, you know, they're not worth that much money. You know what I mean? Especially, you know, guys now, they both want 30 million, 40 million. So, yeah, man, I think you're right on that. I think people just need to take more chances, you know, instead of just worry about the money.
I hate it because
Terrified of each other.
it's a sport where like everyone acts so tough, but they're not actually tough, bro.
Scared behind the scenes.
And like I've taken multiple fights for like $1 million or $2. Like the Mike Perry fight, I made, which to some people they're gonna sit there and be like, oh, that's a lot of money. No, bro,
No, never.
It's not. And like he could have ended my whole career, and everyone thought that. Everyone was in the MMA. This is it. This is king of violence. Mike Perry's
But that's
gonna
the thing.
fucking kill
You took the chance.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
a 50-50 for you when you were thinking about it. But then after, you know what I mean, you had to take those types of chances, even for the little money.
Yeah, but people aren't doing that,
Yeah.
and that's where it sucks. And now,
Like, bro, I've been seeing Shakur and Javante argue on Twitter for 3
like,
years.
why?
Like, nigga, you guys should have fought 3 years
just fucking
ago, bro.
fight, bro.
Doesn't make sense. Niggas would rather get on Instagram Live like, you a bitch. Like, bro, fight. I don't get it.
Fighting like Soldier Boy and Famous Dex on the live.
Oh, God.
Literally,
That
and
shit is sad.
that's what I hate about the sport is people are not actually down to take risks, and that's what you're doing, bro.
Yeah.
And props to you for
Thank you.
taking on David Morrell, who's a very, very good,
Yeah.
talented, athletic fighter.
Insane power, too.
Yeah, so it was a good fight. Like I said, we went into that fight knowing it was a 50-50 fight. But, you know, I have supreme belief in myself and my skills. I knew it was going to be a hard fight. You know, I knew that it'd be a possibility I might go in there and get rocked. You know, I got caught with the stupid shot in the 4th round. But
It was like
I stayed
it was just.
I
Wait, before that?
It was
Wait,
in
before the knockdown.
It was the 4th round. Yeah, I ran myself into a shot. But,
his
but-
left
yeah,
hand.
left hand. But I
Yeah.
stayed there and I fought the whole time. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. These fights, bro, when you go up against good people like that, shit might happen. It's just how you react after. So, you know, the fight, I feel like it took me to another level, especially now. Like, all the fans I see, they're like, bro, like, that's one of the best fights I've seen in a long time.
No,
And
it was insane.
that's really the type of energy I'm trying to bring to the people. You know what I mean? And I feel like the more respect you give them, get from the people, you know what I mean? The bigger your name gets and everything. So I'm happy that people were able to enjoy the fight.
No, you're a true Mexican warrior, and that's where
Absolutely.
I hate on Canelo, because he's now taking the paycheck, not doing what's good for the sport. He's never done anything for
fighting
boxing.
you would be taking a paycheck.
So that's exactly what I'm saying.
No, but what people don't realize is they're sitting there being like, "Oh, this isn't as good of a fight for boxing. Like, this is bad for boxing." No, you dumb piece of shit idiots. This is like, my fan base is the next generation of boxers.
Fair.
I have the people who we are going to inspire, the kids, Netflix, for free. You could watch this motherfucking fight. Massive
But
numbers.
you tell me if Canelo fought you, he would be doing it for anything other than money?
He doesn't realize like how that him fighting me is actually what's better for the sport than him fighting William Skull in Saudi Arabia at 3 a.m.
I know you guys are very cool with each other, but how did you feel seeing like even just the talks of negotiation between them fighting?
I actually felt bad that Canelo was gonna fight me and not you.
Yeah, I thought that. I was like,
And
damn,
I
niggas just
was like,
jumped
this
the
is
line.
fucked up. Like, I'm sorry, David. I'm like,
Honestly, what I thought about that, bro, like I'm saying, Canelo, that's why I feel like Mexicans, bro, if you're a true Mexican, if you see somebody talking shit to you and they're at the same level, you go and get that. And especially how lucrative this fight is. You know, it makes sense on every on every level. It will sell a lot of pay-per-views. It'd be good for the sport. It'd be good for the fans. So that's why I know he's 100% scared of me.
yeah.
Because I'm over here talking shit, and I know I could beat him. But if he was so confident in himself, he'd come fucking shut me up. And make a large sum of money, too. So that's
Yeah.
how I know he's not going to fight me.
It would
you know what I mean?
actually be the biggest fight in
Yeah, it
boxing
would be
versus
big.
him fighting. Obviously, Terrence is amazing, but he's
Bro,
a
he's doing up 2
140
weight
pound.
classes, bro. That shit's
Yeah.
not gonna no.
Yeah, so it's all of it is just super frustrating. But so you're going to the Better Beagle fight?
Yeah, so that's the plan right now. We're already number one spot to fight the winner. So we're going over there, and then we might get that fight like in September,
You deserve
sometime
that,
like that.
bro.
Yeah.
Genuinely, you
And
deserve that.
those fighters, bro, those motherfuckers are scary. Both of them, they're both good
They're
fighters.
insane.
But that's the thing about this sport, bro. That's what makes it so entertaining, because I know for a fact if I sparred Bivol. I know Bivol really well. Better be if I've never sparred him, but I know that once I get a great fighter in front of me, the best David Benavidez comes out, you know, because I've been sparring world champions since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
I've been boxing, bro. I'm 28. I've been boxing since I was 3 years old, so like 25 years.
You were sparring Pavlik.
I was sparring Pavlik
at like 16.
15.
That's insane.
And then I was sparring Golovkin at 15 too. All these guys, so like, you know what I mean? I know that whoever I get in the ring with, that's why I'm excited for the fans, because whoever I give them a fight with, bro, is going to be one of the best fights ever. You know what I mean? And that's why it's disappointing that we can't get that Canelo fight, because, you know, the fans are missing out, bro. At the end of the day, the fans are fucking missing out, because it'll be an amazing fight.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business making selling, and for shoppers buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does better selling than Shopify. Home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not so secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%. Meaning way less carts get abandoned and way more sales going. So, if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Aloe or Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/BS, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/BS to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/BS. You're scheduled to fight the winner of that, essentially.
Yeah, I think it might be sometime in September, or maybe a little bit later. But yeah, that's what's planned. You know, not everything happens in boxing, so you know we're ready for whatever. If that doesn't happen, then I would love to go up to cruiserweight and fight Surdo Ramirez.
Dang.
I used to spar him back then a lot. I sparred him a lot. So Gilberto Ramirez.
Yeah, Gilberto. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Gilberto Ramirez.
Yeah.
So if we can make that happen, that would be
What do
great.
you walk around
That's
at?
insane.
Right now I'm like 200. 200. Yeah.
That's
damn.
Have you noticed anything moving up, even because you were normally fighting at 168
Yeah.
and you move up 7 pounds? Is there a difference?
No, yeah, it's definitely a big difference, because already when I was at 168, I was cutting like 30 pounds, bro. So that shit, it starts to like add up, and it gets harder and harder every time. So now that I went up to 175, I think it's like 23 pounds I have to cut. It's not bad. What I do notice though is that I feel like I'm not. My body isn't all the way used to the weight class hit. You know, these guys are bigger. You know, they walk around like at 200 pounds. They hydrate up to 200. Rather if you're at 168, the hydrate's probably like 180 the most.
Yeah.
So just the guys are a little bit heavier. You know, the punches are a little bit heavier. These motherfuckers take harder shots too. You know, they take more shots.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that Moreau was still standing
Yeah, me
there.
neither, bro. So
Nigga was eating too
yeah,
much, bro.
but it was just they hit harder up there. You know what I mean? So it just comes with it, bro. The higher you go up in weight, the heavier the shots are gonna be.
You versus Betr Biev would just be like a.
It'll be an all-out war.
It would be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Just two monsters.
Yeah, that shit would be dope, bro. It like I'm saying, it's most likely gonna happen. So right now I'm already getting myself mentally. You know, I'm trying to make my brain stronger. You know, just to get ready for that fight, because we're gonna have to go through hell to
You think
come out
that'll
the
be
other
your
side.
toughest fight thus far?
Oh yeah, definitely. Him and people. Both those guys are like the top upper echelon of the Russian, and
Bro, that
I think they're both
Soviet
Russian.
Style
Yeah, they're
is so crazy.
the motherfuckers are strong, bro.
That bounce, like,
That shit with them they're over there. Even
And
the
Beeble's big, bro. When I was with him in person, he's like 6'1.5". Like I'm like
Yeah.
looking up at him, and the fact that he can make 175 is
Yeah.
wild.
So it would be good, but I could definitely take those guys. I'd definitely beat them.
What's crazy is my sparring partner and your sparring partner as well, Shishkin, was the one who fought William Skoll and for the IBF title.
Oh, his last fight? Is that the one we watched?
That was the one we watched.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Get
again,
robbed.
I thought Shishkin
Robbed.
won that.
Y'all boxed them.
Robbed.
And
Bro, y'all boxed the nigga
I-
every round.
he's the best guy in the world. Such a nice guy. And I'm like, bro, they robbed him of this opportunity. It should be Shishkin versus Canelo
Amazing
right now.
boxer, bro. He got robbed so bad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it sucks that this is the sport we're in, because this is people's lives. Like, he may never get that opportunity again. Like, it's over. Like,
That's the dirty thing about boxing too. If you're not marketable and they see that they can't make money off you, they'll go to the next guy.
Yeah.
Bro, I was gonna ask you. I'm really interested now that I'm sitting down with you. What made you get into boxing?
basically, KSI and Deji, we were like talking shit to each other online, and they were like, "We'll fight you guys. Let's fucking
It's like
box."
a beef between brothers.
And we thought it was like a joke, and we slowly started talking to their teams, and it was like, fuck it, let's do it. Like, YouTube fight, settle the beef. Older brother Logan versus KSI, younger brother me versus Deji, and we just signed a fucking contract to fight. And it's insane.
With
Like,
big ass headgear.
in
on.
hindsight, it's insane. Like, yeah, we're just gonna do this thing, and it was like 3 months out. So we signed the contract. I'm on a tour, Team 10 fucking music tour, doing some dumbass shit, and I'm literally like training in the back rooms for the fight while I'm on this tour. And slowly though, I fell in love with it, and I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Like, I love this shit. And then the press conferences were getting more views than Mayweather and McGregor's press conferences.
That
and
can't
we were
be
like,
true.
It's very true. Put the numbers up. Screenshot.
I will fact check that.
No,
Nigga
fact
ain't
check
said
it.
a word besides hate.
Nah,
Well, that's not true. That's not true.
You're
That's
like a little
You're
No,
that
no,
guy.
that's not true. That's
You're
not-
that
I was
guy
like,
in the
no,
comments.
no. McGregor and Mayweather.
Yeah.
You tell
Shut
me.
the fuck up.
But
He
he's saying
hasn't
Jake
said
Paul and Deji
anything
did
the
better
whole
than
time.
McGregor and Mayweather.
The
He
press
said something.
conferences,
He said
yes.
something. That can't be true. Like,
Yes.
nigga, you're a
Their
barnacle.
press conferences were getting like 25 million views. Ours were getting like 30 something million.
I'll take numbers don't lie. I'll take a look.
Sorry. They were getting 14 or like 12 mil, and we were getting like
Bro,
18
fuck that
mil.
nigga. Continue telling him the story. You're
Yeah, so-
trying to keep...
So we do the fight. It's on YouTube. We get YouTube to do the pay-per-view. So it was $10 on YouTube, and we did 1 million pay-per-view buys. Biggest amateur fight, biggest amateur gate ever. And yeah, like, I won. Logan had a draw, but when I won, I was like, this is the greatest feeling ever.
How much did you guys make off that?
Not a lot, like a million.
Go for amateur fight though.
Yeah.
Imagine getting $1 million for it.
That might be the highest paid amateur fight ever.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And
So how long has it been since that? Like almost 10 years?
no, that was in 2018. So
6 years?
Seven now.
It's been a wild ride, huh?
7 years, yeah.
Boxing?
So, but then I stopped for a year of boxing. I was like, I'm not doing it. Like I was like, that was fun. Congrats, I won. Back to YouTube. I'm vlogging like for a year after that. And then there was talks for me to fight again against KSI's friend, Gib, because he was calling me out. And so basically I was like, all right, I'll do this. And that's when I consider like me
Like
actually
really locked in?
boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I went with Shane Mosley in Big
That was
Bear.
your truest camp. Like,
Yeah.
It's hard to train out there, huh? Big Bear?
No, bro, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's tough, bro. It's really tough. Like something about the altitude after training sessions, I would just be
You're tired as fuck.
I would fall over
Yeah.
onto the ground because of how tired I was. But that's when I consider the start of my boxing because again, I was training on this tour. I wasn't actually with like a random guy who knew nothing about boxing. Sorry, Adon, I love you, but we were just doing like random ass shit to try and train. So I consider the start of my boxing career with Gib in my first pro fight. So it's been 5 years since then.
So the reason I bring that up is, you know, always see a lot of people talking down on you, but I've always respected you a lot because you really locked in and you really made this your dedication, bro. I know how hard boxing is. To
Yeah.
dedicate your life to run in the morning, train in the day, strength and conditioning. So I've always respected you a lot for that, you know what I mean? And I think people need to realize that too. You know, you fucking 100% locked into boxing and you came in here, bro, and you've had a lot of success. So I want to just give you your flowers, bro. You know,
Thank
hats
you.
off to you, bro. This shit's
Thank
dope.
you.
And then this dude too, he's like, it's cool to see you like as a person because, bro, I feel like you've lived a lot of lifetimes in one life. He's like, you're saying you're
Bro,
on tour
so
for
many.
music.
No,
You became
literally.
a boxer. You fought Mike Tyson, and you still doing all your other stuff.
No, I'm a platinum producer.
I fucking hate that. I hate it, bro. I hate it. He got
I'm
a
a
plaque.
platinum
I'm an
producer.
artist.
Shout out, Boy Wonder.
I am a great artist. He has a plaque before me. Nigga, imagine,
I'm
bro,
a
imagine
platinum producer.
Imagine I
and
get a belt.
platinum
Imagine I get a belt before you.
recording artist.
Nigga, how are you gonna feel?
you gotta do
No,
that.
yeah.
now.
No, it's I've lived so many lifetimes. It's very true. But
But I seen like for people to see that on the outside, like if you really want to do something, you know, you could reach for the stars. Anything is possible. You know what I mean? Even just looking at you for myself, I get motivated too because in any field you want to go, and I think anybody could do that as long as they concentrate themselves and really focus themselves. And, you know, that's why, you know, I really respect you.
that's what thank you. And that's where that's where I lay my hat at the end of the day is I'm trying to create one of the craziest sports stories ever.
Yeah.
That's relatable.
His documentary is going to be crazy by the time he's old.
No, literally, but it's relatable to kids actually. Like, yo, I was some skinny dweeb like Derek on
Yo,
Disney
that's
Channel.
You had like
That's
130 testosterone.
Yeah, I was like a little girl and basically just dedicated myself to this shit and rose to the top of the sport, beat MMA champions, legends, all this shit. So really,
their prime.
what Tyron Woodley was.
Bro, it's fucking
Mike Perry?
envy
I
is
don't mean
Mike
to hate.
Perry,
I don't mean to
worst thing
hate.
in
It's
the
just
world.
like
Perry
Perry
was 32.
Bro, troll ass nigga, and he claims he's a boxer.
I actually
Perry?
there's
Oh,
controversy.
Was Mike Perry
Bro,
past his
don't tell me
prime?
you're the one that fought Steiny.
Well,
hold
hold
on.
on.
Yeah, I see
And
that.
he
Not
got
only did
whooped
I
on in a
fight, I
parking
whooped
lot
his
with an
ass.
overhand. He got whooped
Encounter.
with an overhand right in a parking
Man,
lot
you
of
let-
No,
Poppy
he won.
State.
He won the
I
fight.
Bro,
did
you
win.
niggas are
No, he
lying,
won the
bro, for
fight.
this
Bro,
fucking company.
I don't
You
care.
got
No.
punched on.
I literally don't care. I would rather him lose. He won that
But I
fight.
won that shit,
and
bro.
they edited
I did
it
more
like in some
damage
crazy shit. Like
with
he
my
won
counter
the fight.
did more damage than anything he landed on me.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he quit. In what fight? Does the quitter win?
Hey,
Give me one
stand
example.
on that
Wait,
shit.
but do you,
Hell
think,
yeah.
do you think Mike Perry was past
Poppy
his
State
prime?
parking lot.
Mike Perry? Mike Perry? He's
On
like
a 6 fight,
37.
he's
Isn't he?
32.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
Six fight win streak, king of violence. Everyone's saying
Bare
I'm gonna
knuckle.
die.
I could go win a bare knuckle fight.
You go win a bare knuckle fight against an actual contender. I'll give you $100,000.
I'll give
Deal.
you $1 million
Deal.
if you
Deal.
do bare knuckle.
Just got. I bet we all actually. There's a lot.
You gotta be careful with the bare knuckle, bro.
Bryce Hall, he was able to pull that shit up. But no. I will say, I've been training, but yeah, I would consider doing bare knuckle, and that's on
You
camera.
wouldn't.
Million.
You would
and
never
turns
do
out-
it.
and on top of that,
I swear to God, you
I don't have
will
to change
never
anything
do-
I've been doing. I've been training
You've
for
been
boxing, but
saying
there
you-
is controversy around. I'm not taking a break, but I'm kind of like not being blackmailed, but I sparred two.
That's fucking awesome.
Wait, what?
What happened?
What happened? What are you talking about?
We might have to cut this
They're
out.
called little people.
Sorry,
Yeah,
little
you
people.
can't say that
Little
N-word.
people. We might have
Sorry
to
to
cut
the
this
little
out,
people.
but I'm gonna want us to cut this out. But one of
We're
them,
not cutting
one
it out.
of them landed a shot in my face, and I stumbled. And but I tripped. If you look, you can. My
What did he do?
back
Jump
foot-
off a big ass chair?
In the video, he actually both feet were in the air. It's really bad. So it's really bad. So I've paid them not to post. I'm not letting them post.
If you guys are watching this, I will buy
Please
this footage
post
from
it.
you.
I'll
We
pay you to
will
post
purchase
it.
the footage from you, pay you to post
Please
it, whatever
post
you
it.
do.
Please. I wanna see this
it's I've been going to sleep every night in fear of this. I mean that would
And he wants to fight
rightfully-
BFKC like that.
Like, bro, it's
Rightfully
done.
that would end my career.
You let a little person touch your jaw, nigga.
No,
You
but-
go to a bare knuckle, it's over for you.
I don't really want to talk more
You're
about it.
the
but-
epitome of like the person on the internet who like believes everything that they read.
What does that even? What does that mean?
Oh, you beat all these guys past their prime. Fucking Tyron Woodley, bro. Are you kidding me?
Bro, that's the crazy thing.
36
is
years
imagine
old, killer.
He started
why don't you
fighting
two
when he was
fight?
like
Both
23,
young?
22 or 23, whatever.
What happens
Bro.
if you two fight?
You're the only nigga I've ever asked him, like, oh, would you get in there with that nigga? He was like, hell no.
No, that's the thing. You're like, oh, fight
Oh,
David
they're not even
Benavidez.
talking about
Here's
it.
the thing. Here's the
And I'm
thing.
like, oh, would you get in there with him?
No.
He's like, I'll whoop him. And I was like, would you get in there with him? He's like, hell no.
No, I literally tell my manager.
Say, he'll whoop
I'm
my
like,
ass.
he's like talking about all these potential fights, and I'm like telling him like, yes, no. And the only no is you.
Jake Paul
I will
ducks
not
David
fight
Benavidez.
this fucking guy. He's a fucking monster,
But I respect
bro.
it, though, because he's
I'm just
very
gonna
honest,
fucking
bro.
die, bro. I know my boundaries. And that's the thing.
I can't. This is the
I
first time.
know-
Oh, hold on. This is the first time I've ever heard you say any of this shit.
No, I know.
You're gonna take this out of the episode once you
No,
hear
he's
it.
not. No, he's
No,
not.
I'm
No,
not,
he
because
said
I
this
don't
No,
to
you
know.
say you're gonna be
me.
the best in the world, and you're just right now.
But here's the thing. I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will fucking beat Anthony Joshua's ass. I
He
know I
just
will
got
beat,
knocked out, right?
Yeah. He doesn't have a chin and he has no skill and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends, all this shit. But I want to fight you. I will beat Canelo. I will beat a lot of fucking people. I will not beat David Benavidez.
It's not even close.
I would get torn up, bro. This guy is different.
Bro,
He's different.
I've never you glazing, bro.
No, this is
Holy shit.
authenticity, bro.
I'll glaze, bro. But I'm real. I'm the realest in the game.
That's not glazing, bro. That's the problem. Is you're frail, bro. I told.
Bro, but here's the thing.
I told Patrick
hold on.
David yesterday.
Hold on.
I am a fan of you, niggas. Nothing wrong with being a fan. I'm a fan of this nigga, bro.
It's okay to be
this
a fan
is his
of
favorite
people.
fighter. He said he'll whoop his ass. Yes, absolutely. He's a fucking dog. You are a maggot, and you need to go.
I mean, this is I see, but you know what I will say is you said I'm what's wrong with the world because I was sitting here chirping a little bit.
No, because you
hold
just
on,
read comments
Chirping
and
with
you
no
make it
fan.
your
Hold on,
identity.
Hold on.
You read comments
but
and you make it your identity.
And
You
said
don't
I'm
even
the
have your
problem.
own
You
opinion.
I just got so far in your head with just a couple comments to the point where you got heated. You started all of a
I'm
sudden
not
you
heated.
started like saying like,
I'm
David, I would
literally-
never fight you. Like that was weird, bro.
And
it's because I talked to-
actually
I got
started
in-
that, and he overheard it because I was
I don't know.
just
All
giving
I'm
him his
saying,
flowers, bro. He's an awesome dude.
No, because you're like the internet loser person that reads the. You probably think my fights are rigged. Do you think my fights are rigged like the rest of the world? Do you think I'm on steroids?
No, I'm not gonna say nothing. I don't think. No, look, I never thought your fights were rigged. That was at the Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah, see, you're a fucking
No,
imbecile.
I'm kidding. It wasn't rigged. I know it wasn't rigged. I know it wasn't rigged. I don't know what to say here.
Okay.
Anyway, but
At least you have some discretion. At least you have some discretion.
also, but you can't say I'm like the average. You see I'm about to break a 4-minute mile, bro.
Congrats,
bro.
brother.
You're not
just-
even close.
Nigga, you're 100 pounds. You should be able to run 30 miles
you should
per
have
hour.
broke it a lot sooner ago, bro. You're literally like a piece of paper.
and you guys
I could throw
are-
a piece of paper around a track and make it go
wait,
4
this
minutes.
is
You're
we're in some-
literally a fucking piece of paper, bro. You should
Hey, nigga,
run
you should
fast.
run
Can
as
I
fast as a
once I
cheetah,
can I
nigga.
acknowledge the hypocrisy of what just transpired? You just turned into the comment section.
No,
Like,
no,
literally
because you
just
actually
turned-
suck.
not at running.
The fact
I
sheet. Bro,
genuinely,
you
I've known
lost.
you for like 3 years and I've never seen you win anything.
You literally lost.
I beat a
No.
NFL Pro Bowl running back in a
Bro,
race.
he's
Oh, yeah, I
literally
saw that.
400.
That was-
He's literally
that was one
300
thing.
pounds, bro, and he didn't try because he didn't want to pull his hamstring.
that's
You
me.
lost to Better JoJo, who trained for 6 days in a fucking mile
and he was
race,
drinking the night before.
and he was drunk as fuck the night.
and I wasn't
before.
training. Right now I'm running. So I think now we're not talking about running, but also
That's all I hear when you talk is just.
you just this feels like a joke because I
All
just
right,
brought up.
you want to
yeah,
make
we can move on.
$1,000? $1,000?
I'll put $1,000 on
No, no,
anything.
no. Okay, no. I want to offer you $1,000.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just a little body shot from him.
Yeah, will you take a body shot from David?
I might break your. Nah, I will break your.
No.
Do I have to sign anything?
Say you want. No, and I'll give you a 2,000.
That shit's gonna fuck. That
Give
shit's
you
gonna.
1,000.
Oh man. Oh man.
We got the cash right here.
I-
Straight out the go yard.
I'm gonna get your ass. I'm gonna fuck you up.
We're going to the ring right after, and
$1,000.
are you a man?
Bro, I'm just doing my job, bro.
I don't even see you in
I'm
my
just
algorithm
doing my
anymore.
job.
You're not
And he
even
just-
in the algorithm
It's
anymore.
not my fault.
All right, bro,
Do
we're
you
not-
want to get into the details?
No, we're
It's
not here
my-
for you,
I'm
brother.
just doing my job.
This is
bro.
going on too
I
long.
just
We don't. No
clock
one
in.
cares about you no more,
I
Derek.
don't
You
want-
had a
I'm not
run.
taking
We're
a
here for
body
David
shot, right?
Benavidez.
I'll give a body shot. I'm not taking it.
Yeah, I'll take a body
Well,
shot
I
from
think
you.
I'll take
Yeah.
I'll take a
All right.
body
Are you
shot.
gonna pay me 1,000?
You should pay
No.
me for that clip.
Please body shot me after this. It's
That-
gonna be it's gonna go. When you hit me, it's going.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
bro. It's over. Fuck that guy. It's back to being serious.
Sorry about that. Move on.
Okay, so you have a family. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, bro. It's honestly, it's my main motivation, especially now. You know, I got my son, I got my daughter, I got another son coming in May 25th. So when you have a family, it kind of gives you a different type of hunger because you're not only doing it for yourself. And now, if you fail, you're not only gonna fail yourself, but you're gonna fail your family. You know what I mean? So I kind of see it like that. So now I let them be my engine, you know, to keep me running and. They're basically my main motivation, you know. At the end of the day, you know, I do anything for my family, and you know, so it's a beautiful thing.
Your son Anthony is hilarious.
He's a character, bro.
He's super fucking funny. He's a superstar in the making.
Yeah, so you know now, I'm instilling it in his head that you know I want all my kids to be championship bloodline. You know, especially my son. He's been training since he was like 6 months old. He's doing some shadow boxing for you.
He got a
earlier.
good uppercut.
Yeah, he has, bro. He does everything good. So right now, I'm kind of just like. Trying to train his mindset. You know, I tell him every day, you're gonna be a champion, you're gonna be world champion. He even tells me like when he's hitting his low bags. Oh, I just got done beating Gervonta Davis. I just got done beating Ryan Garcia. So it's funny to see him like that. But definitely later in the future, you know, I feel like when I'm done with my career, I want to transition into his career and just dedicate all my time to him. But he's definitely gonna be a world champion in the making as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
The story was funny where they were saying y'all were at the boxing gym with David Morrell doing the press conference, and he was like mean mugging him. He's like looking at him all crazy.
During the press conference, he's giving him the thumbs down. So it's just funny, bro. He's really like a warrior. His mentality is crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy that I could give him this type of confidence. You know, because when I was a little kid, bro, I would freeze up in front of a camera. I don't know if you guys seen my last fight, but at the press conference, my son got up on the podium and started doing shadow boxing in front of the whole press conference.
Yeah.
So his confidence is at a different level, and I just feel like, you know, I'm trying to give him the tools that he's gonna need to go and take into his life and, you know, be the best version of himself possible.
So you were heavy as a kid. and when you started boxing? The famous clip.
Bro, I saw the video before the Morrell fight, bro. It was like a highlight reel, bro. You were big as fuck.
But do you think that's why you're so fast? Because you were like heavy, so you got used to throwing all the weight?
Definitely, yeah, it's definitely why. When I was a little kid, the people I looked up to were like Roy Jones Jr., Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar De La Hoya, all the fast fighters, Manny Pacquiao. So, like, you know, when you hit the bag, you have a certain style. I know somebody that you watch, that you're like, oh, I want to kind of replicate their style while I'm hitting the bag. And it was always like Roy Jones, so I'd always throw like a lot of like combinations and stuff. So that kind of helped me coming up, you know, into like my fighting style now. You know, I've always loved fast punchers and fast combinations. So, you know, I've always been fast since a little kid. You know, even, you know, I was like fucking 250, 260 pounds, but I didn't
When you
really,
were like 12 or something,
12.
right?
I didn't let that discourage me. The way that happened too, I had boxed my whole life. My parents got divorced when I was like 7 years old, so I was always back and forth. When I was 12 years old, my brother and my father, they moved to North Hollywood because they were going to start training at the Wild Card, and my brother was about to get signed. He was the best in all of U.S. in the amateur, you know, and the best in the West Coast. So when they were about to sign him, he went with Top Rank, and I stayed in Arizona. Because I'm like, man, fuck that. I'm done training boxing. I've been training my whole life. At that time, I probably had like 9 years training. So I'm like, I'm going to just take a break. I'm going to be a kid. And I was eating a lot, bro, like eating a lot. In 1 year, I gained 110 pounds. And I remember
everything you
bro,
saw,
everything, bro,
Damn.
everything. Yeah, it's fucking.
I ain't gonna lie.
What was your favorite food, though?
Bro, I'd eat Taco Bell. On the way home back to school, Taco Bell.
I love the Crunchwrap Supreme,
yeah.
bro.
The chalupas, Taco
Yo,
Bell, nacho
chalupa's my
cheese.
favorite,
yeah, the
bro.
nacho
Nah,
cheese.
you gotta
no.
get the quesadilla, but ask for steak in that
All
motherfucker.
that, yeah. And you grill it,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
all that shit is
And
fire.
a little twisted churros, bro.
To finish it off.
Bro, the problem was because I was like 280 at my base, 272. I'm like 210 now, bro. I got fat when I was probably like 19. You leaving a club, bro. It's 4 a.m. You drunk. You in a big ass SUV. Taco Bell, bro. Every night. That shit is horrible, bro. How the fuck did you? I feel like I can't get under 200. Like you fighting at 168 is crazy.
I can give you like a weight, like loss structure to how to lose weight.
Bro,
It's honestly,
What about gaining weight? That's the hard
Bro, it's
part. Y'all
over
have no
for you,
idea.
Nematode.
I've been trying to gain weight for years.
Yeah.
This dude got-
I hate people who have to gain weight
Nigga,
because
just
it's like,
eat.
bro, eat, bro. Just eat.
Well,
And they just like, I'm not hungry. Fucking be hungry, dog.
One way costs money, the other doesn't. Eating more costs money. Eating less doesn't cost money.
Yeah, and then you just
Yeah,
get no
we're not-
bitches and you wear a size 14 jeans and you just look weird and scary.
But I think your story is inspiring to all the fat kids out there. Yo,
No,
if you're
but
listening,
let me finish
if you're
it.
listening, yeah.
So I one day, bro, I was in 7th grade. I'll never forget it. I remember walking out, coming back home, and I looked at myself. I went into the bathroom. I looked at myself in the mirror. I was fat as fuck, bro. I was like, my face was like
feel
different.
you.
It was like I didn't know what I was looking at, and it's funny when I looked at myself. That shit was not funny. I was looking at, I'm like, damn, bro, like I let myself go. Like, they're like, bro, I'm
fucked up right now.
Nigga looked
I
in the
told
mirror,
myself-
saw porker.
There's a picture where I met Dana White. Just to show you, I'll bring it up later.
We'll put it up on
But
the screen.
I was like, bro, this could go either one of two ways. I could hit a point where there's no return, and I could have like my 500-pound life, because that's when that shit was playing. I'm like,
You're gonna be
I
on a-
remember them dudes, they can't even get out the seat and shit. I'm like, damn,
Bro,
like
that
I really
shit's
seen my life like that. I'm like,
crazy.
I could do that, or I could go to California, lose the weight. So I went to California just to lose the weight, but I mean, I had 10 years boxing already, so I trained for a couple months. I lost like 50 pounds, and then I'm like, all right, I'm starting to lose weight, so what else do we do from now? And I was like, fuck, my dad, he's ruthless in the gym. You know, he's like a fucking, he trains us like soldiers, and he's had a lot of confidence in us. So when I was 14 years old, he put me spar to my first world champion I sparred. His name was Peter Quillen.
Oh, yeah.
That motherfucker hit hard. I was 14 years old, but I'm like, if my dad believes in me, you know, my dad, he knows what I could do, so I'm not going to let my dad down either. I would go in there, spar him. I'd do good with him. I sparred a cruiserweight champion, Latif Coyote, fucking African dude with scars all over his face. And I told my dad, like, you want me to spar this guy? He was like 200 pounds solid. He's like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? He's like, what, you don't want to spar him or what? And at that time, I didn't want to tell my dad no. I'm like, damn, I might get beat up, but fuck it, we're gonna take the chance. You know what I mean?
Should be
That's
the
what
realest
boxing's about.
motivation,
Yeah.
bro.
Sometimes boxing, you don't know what's gonna happen, but you gotta take the chance, cause it could be either easy or it could be hard. So you just gotta take the chance. I went in there, I did good with him. So by this time, I fucking wiped out everybody in North Hollywood. And the thing that really motivated me, though, I will say, when I went there, my brother and my dad, they would always talk so highly of me. And they're like, oh, Jose Benavidez is good, but we have another one, David Benavidez. He's something special. So when I get there to California, to North Hollywood, people look at me like, this is a fucking kid that you're talking about, the one that's super good. This guy's fucking fat. He's not going to be nothing. And I'd hear people talk about me like that. So then that led me to who I am now, because I always had anger because of that. Because imagine you box your whole fucking life and somebody, just because they see you and you're not in good shape, they write you off like, oh, he's a fucking fat piece of shit. He's not his brother. And I would hear this in the gym. I'm like, all right, just give me a chance. And then my dad, I think that's why my dad put me to spar with the world champions, now that I think about it, because my dad knew what I could do, and he's like, as soon as he gets in the ring, Dave is going to let off, and you guys are going to see who he is. And I just kept doing that, and then I sparred Kelly Pavlik. That was probably the best sparring session I've ever had, because Kelly Pavlik is a world champion, hard fighter.
Gangster.
And then
He's an Ohio guy.
And then I went to the Big Bear. We were training there because my brother was about to have a big fight, and I was like 15. I was about to turn 16. I'm in there. My dad's like, he tells Abel Sanchez, do you have anybody at 168? I'm like, yeah, there's this guy over here. But that's before Golovkin had his U.S. pro debut, or his debut in the U.S. So he was really unknown. I remember seeing Golovkin. He was the ring was here. I was on the other side. And
You were in Big Bear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I seen him. That's when he had barely started training in Big Bear. This was like in 2015.
Abel's gym is sick.
It's nice.
Yeah.
The thing I like about Big Bear is that you could disconnect, and it's just about the training.
Yeah.
And it feels good up there with your family and stuff. You go by the lake and stuff like that. So it's really nice. You could disconnect.
So you're sparring Golovkin.
Yeah. So I sparred him, and he fucking when I first seen him getting ready, he gave me the coldest stare. Like, I would never forget it. Like, he's not dogging you, but he's looking at you like, yo, you're in for something right now. So we're in there sparring, and this I know, you know what I mean, this is why I stayed with Golovkin the whole time. I became his main sparring partner, because we're sparring, and then we both go for a left hook at the same time to the body. We both hit each other. Ooh. I get hurt, he gets hurt. I know he got hurt because I heard him grunt, and he hurt me. So we just kind of looked at each other and stepped back. And then from there, I sparred him until I was like 20 years old. I was his main sparring partner, and I had, bro, that motherfucker was... He was the hardest puncher I've ever been in the ring with, but he's also very intelligent. So for me, every time we'd spar in there, it wouldn't be sparring sessions. We'd both try to kill each other, you know, because, I mean, I've always had talent since back then, and there's something about, there's like that spirit warrior in me. If somebody hits me 1-2 shots, I got to come back with 3 or 4. And I've always been like that. So we'd have some great sparring sessions, but just being in the ring with him that long, it really took me to another level, because brother, Golovkin is dangerous. I see him drop guys every single day, and I'm the only one that he's never dropped in there. He would have like 6-7 sparring partners. I'd be the first one. We spar 4-4-minute rounds. Fucking, it'd be super intense. And then after, I'd get out, he'd drop everybody.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know this story, but Shane Mosley, I was in Big Bear, and we were training for my first pro fight, and I didn't know this at the time, that I was getting put up to a death mission. He brings me to Abel Sanchez's gym, and he puts me in there with Sergey Boachuk, who is a gangster. Yeah. And they told him to like go all out on me to see that they wanted to like put me through a session where to see my heart and to see like what I would stand through. And bro, this guy beat my fucking ass for 4 rounds straight, body shots, all this shit. And I didn't know at the time that it was like a test to see if to gain my credibility, and Shane wanted to see like what I would do in a hard moment.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget that because I was getting body shotted, upper everything. This guy was beating the fuck out of me, but I stood there, didn't drop down ever, no knockdowns, and I just kept on fighting. And apparently that was where Shane was like, okay, this kid's legit.
Yeah.
And I kind of gained my respect.
I think that's where you gain respect for yourself too.
Yeah.
Bro, but there's nothing you can't compare. Like when you get your ass beat for the first time in boxing, it's like, whoa, bro, like what the like I'm getting hit. It feels like I'm running into a fucking wall. The body shots hurt, and that's really where you figure out who you are. Because sometimes I've seen a lot of people, bro, they can't take it and they run out. But if you can sit there and go through that for 4 rounds, that's how you know, bro. It's not. You have the heart and the mentality to be a champion.
I'm gonna go buy me a gun.
You can't take a gun in the ring, though.
Nigga not about to punch me up.
Jasper would though.
Nah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I respect you a lot, because a lot of people, I see a lot of people in the comment section, but they don't know how it is to be there for fucking 4 rounds with real top opposition boxer, bro. That shit, for you to go through that, you have to, it changes you. And then for you to come back and keep wanting to do that, that means that you really love the sport, and that's something you got to respect.
Bro, it breaks my heart when I see him win a crazy fight and bust his ass, and niggas are like, oh, this is rigged. And I'm like, brother, he wouldn't have bought a $5 million fucking warehouse just to put a gym in it and a wellness center upstairs for fucking...
That's the dedication.
Train twice a day, niggas running in the rain, working out every day in the gym, like nigga, letting his life passing by, just working out.
What's
He's
funny?
not doing shit.
Top boxers don't even do that. Top boxers don't even work hard like that either.
Yeah, that's what my coaches tell me. They're like, yo, you work harder than 99% of top pro boxers.
Yeah.
Bro, he doesn't even live his life. He's just work. That's it. Just train twice a day. Like
that is life.
Yeah,
that is like
boxing is life.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Fucking Derek.
It's like a
Yes,
maggot.
sir. Yes, sir. Boxing's life, baby.
So, I want to ask what happened with your brother, with Jose, because he got shot at or something.
Yeah,
or?
he So when in Phoenix, Arizona, there's obviously in the place you're from, you get a lot of hate. You know what I mean? He got shot in front of his house, walking his dog.
Damn.
So it's just, I really don't want to get in this business, but it's just it's kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Because the city, especially that's why we left Phoenix, Arizona. Well, that's why I left. He stayed there, but because at the end of the day, when shit happens like that, it's kind of like fucked up, and you don't want to be around that type of environment. When we were younger, we were around you're knuckleheads. You know what I mean? When I was coming up, I wasn't living my life the best way, but when you surround yourself with people like that, there's a lot of people that do stuff like that. People try to rob you. You know what I mean? Especially when you're surrounded by,
You just become
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We were friends with a lot of people that were like from the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So envy, shit like that. This little beef starts happening, and then that's what it was. What happened with him. So it's very unfortunate, and it's kind of messed up too, because it kind of messed my brother up. You know what I mean? Obviously you deal with PTSD, especially getting shot in front of your house, walking your dog. You know what I mean? But my brother's done really good. He's rebounded really well. It's funny because when he got shot, the doctor told me he was never gonna walk again, and a couple months later he fought Crawford.
That's insane.
And he gave Crawford one of the best fights. Yeah,
good ass fight.
Hell of a fight. You know what I mean? Going into that fight, I knew what my brother could do, but I knew that the leg was going to be an issue. You know what I mean? So, but hats off to my brother. That alone just says how strong he is. You know what I mean? Getting shot and then coming back and fighting one of the best fighters on the planet.
And then he
today.
was in
He's in Creed.
Yeah, bro. It's so sick.
awesome.
Yeah, he played a dope role in that, and it's funny because he did such a good job, because in reality that's his character. Like for real, he's a badass Mexican dude. You know what I mean? So he played it to perfection.
No, that it's so cool. His story is inspiring. Your story is inspiring, and it just shows that if you set your mind to something and just are dedicated, that anything is possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing, brother. David,
Appreciate you having me on, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for coming,
Thank you,
bro.
bro.
Awesome,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Like and subscribe. Yes, Jake Paul, and we'll see you later.